we're gonna go over B smokes today, or I'm sorry, Overpass A smokes, and we're gonna have a smoke here. We're gonna have a smoke here, and if we can afford a third smoke, we're gonna try to put that smoke right there. So we're cutting off all the rotations through garbage. And if we want to get our only molly that we will be using is for bank. That way, keep rotations out, and we might force a player out somewhere through here. So let's go ahead and get into it, and then I'll go over flashes at the end. So first, you come right here. You're gonna kind of look at the C right in the middle, and you're just gonna go up until you match the back of this line. And it's kind of a weird lineup, but you just gotta get used to it. So you're just gonna come right there, get your left click throw in, get a bounce, and there might be a gap right here a little bit sometimes, but most of the time it's not too bad. Like you can kind of see legs there, so I wouldn't, just run up here and sit. If you're gonna push in, I would definitely push in, and just know if you hear spamming, you can just and probably get a free kill, because most people don't aim for the head if they spam. Okay, so there's that smoke, and then it's really simple for our other smokes. So think of it as this: the farther you are forward, either on this one or this one, the farther back your smoke goes to either here or here. So what I mean by that is if we go all the way forward and we just look at the lady's head right here, and left click throw, it's gonna carry on all the way to the rotate smoke, right? So that gets the rotations. If you want it further like backwards, back this way, you just stand on the back of it right here, and you just look at the lady's head again, left click throw, you get a little bounce, and it gives you a beautiful smoke onto this. So obviously if we have these smokes up and that molly over there, and of course, like if we have an extra molly and you know the molly to throw, I believe it's right here. Yeah, if you know that molly or know something about like those mollies, I'm more than accepting of you forcing players in those spots, and that helps us out, but that's not required. Okay, so if you have these smokes up, obviously you're thinking, okay, there's definitely can be a guy here and there can be a guy over here, and to that I say that's why we set these flashes up. So first flash, you can come to the brown line. You don't really have to be too perfect with it. You can just look here, look off the corner of the building, and that flashbang is gonna get any player that sits here every time. And like even if he might be able to barely miss it, and you can always like aim a little further down if you want to make sure it hits him. So you can come a little further down off the building. I looked into it like an idiot, and there you go. It's perfect flash for him. And if there's any guy here, most likely he'd be playing in the corner, but if he is looking this way by now, that's perfect flash for that. Now for the walk up, I didn't do this in the last execute, but this is important on this site. We should be walking, holding the inside of this wall. I don't want anybody outwards facing bank, facing dice. I want all my players on long, being 2 or 3 players, they kind of walk up here, and when the flashes start popping, they clear this angle and then immediately clear this angle. And then from there, if the smoke's up in the back, then you can continue to APC, but if not, and if you have a molly or a nade or something, you can always throw that and just kind of force players off. And then at that point, we should be able to get plant and play after plant. Simple enough. And for the last point is if there is an opper here and the molly's not deep enough, all a player has to do from short is just throw a high flash, and that's gonna flash their opper if he's sitting back in here, because most likely the opper's not gonna be holding a wide angle, he holds the tight angle. So fair enough. That's pretty much all of our A execute, and can't wait to try it out in scrims.